My name is Desiree Engel, and I'm a member of 57 Underground, which is a contemporary fine arts gallery in Pomona. This is a membership gallery that started way back in 1984. I guess we've been around for 27 years, and it was started by 28 graduate students of Cal State Fullerton. They were mostly painters, but they're all art students, and I was one of them. We started in an industrial space in Fullerton, and then we moved to downtown Fullerton, where we were for about 12 years. The membership changed over the years. Some of our members went on to commercial galleries and are showing in places like New York and so forth. Some went on to teaching and just found all kind of good places to do their art. Then we had to give up the gallery because we could not maintain it, and about 2 years later, we were offered the space here in Pomona. We've been here ever since, I think 11 years. We're a group of people that are dedicated to art and really care about this gallery. We share all the work. You know, most of the members were here painting and hanging drywall, scrubbing the floor, and all that sort of thing. And we're a cohesive group that enjoy each other's company and are very interested in each other's work and support each other. And we are accepting new members. We jury them in. We're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 12 to 4. We're also open the second Saturday of every month from 6 to 9. And during Pomona Art Walks, on the last Saturday of each month, also from 6 to 9. We now have 9 members, and we all take turns having shows. We also have invited guests to show with us. I have 2 guests today on my work. To put this show together, I worked all year.
Really?
Mostly for a show, I work all year. Because I don't just do one piece at a time, because there's a lot of drying time involved. There's a lot of firing time, and so on. So I really can't. I can make a piece in a matter of minutes sometimes, but then it has to dry, and then it has to be put in the kiln, and then it has to be glazed, and then it has to be put back in the kiln. So it's a lot of work. At this time, I do ceramic sculpture, and I fire several different ways. My favorite way of firing is the raku process, which involves firing in the kiln, and after that you put it into a bucket with fire in it.
Wow.
Close up the bucket, and the fire and the smoke do their work.
Wow, and this is one of your pieces right behind us, correct?
Yeah, there's quite a few, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, I have set up, they're really individual pieces, but I've set up little scenes. The paintings are done by Esther Shaw. I detected a kinship in our work because she paints ocean waves and ocean currents, and my ceramic pieces are about what you might find on the beach after the tide goes out, or what you might really find at the ocean floor when if you walk in and you get tangled up in seaweed and all that. So we checked to see if our colors would be compatible with each other, and then I developed the idea of making a shelf with my work on it just below the painting, so that her painting is the top of the ocean, mine is at the bottom, my ceramics are the bottom.
Very nice.
And so we found out when we installed it that it worked really well, and we're very pleased with what happened.
Very good.
It's a different idea. It worked. some of it just comes to me. This particular series, I was inspired by a shell collection that I had seen, and just there's these wonderful, wonderful forms. And I mainly I work with shapes, forms, color. That's what interests me. I used to work in different media before. I was a printmaker, and I was a mixed media artist. I was a painter, but I find that I enjoy ceramics more than anything right now. I started school at age 52, and I graduated with my Master of Fine Arts at 74.
How old are you now?
89. I have my 90th birthday in less than a month. I'm just having just as much fun as I ever had, if not more. Have a little write-up. When I sell a piece, I always give the people a little statement that tells them my background and why I do what I do, and something about what it means to me, and that makes it more special for them to know.
You know, Desiree, when we're little, we can't wait to brag about how old we are. You know, I'm 9,
Yes.
9.5,
Yeah.
I'm 10, and I'm
Yeah.
15. And then there comes a point where that question becomes rude.
Yes.
When do you again become proud of your age?
Right about now. Well, I'm 89, going almost 90. I'm going back to my childhood. Almost 10, almost
89, 89 and a half.
yes, no more than that. So I'll be 90 in April. I would say if you have a passion, or find your passion, I think everybody has one somewhere, and go for it. And don't worry about your age. I have people telling me, well, you really ought to slow down. Look, you're going to be in your 90s. And I have a lot of interests in life. And of course, my passion for art and passion for music, and I have quite a few other interests. So I don't have time to slow down. I think that's the way to live.
That's excellent. That's
I
amazing.
wouldn't want to. Well, I have my physical problems, of course, but I have other things that are more important to me, so I tend to ignore them or take care of them. So when we have a show, when the artists of the gallery have their own show, we don't have usually not just one person, but maybe 2 or 3. We are there the second Saturday and the last Saturday of the month in the evening from 6 to 9. And the second Saturday we have a reception with food, and the artists are there,
Okay.
the ones that are showing. The art walks, anybody comes in from the street, we have 200-300 people usually
Right.
a night.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
It
Just
is.
walk all of, there's so many galleries in Pomona, and you could just sample all of them. Yeah, 57 Underground was one of the very first that moved in there when it was a totally dead city. There was nothing there.
Yeah, I remember years
And
and years.
then slowly, maybe there were 1 or 2 other galleries at the time. And we are in a very old building that used to be the Progress. It's a newspaper building.
Right.
And it's an interesting space. We still have the old linotype machine outside outside of our space. We had to do a lot of fixing up, painting, and putting up drywall and all that stuff. And the members all got together and did that.
Very nice.
And we do, after every show, we put it back in the original shape. So yeah, and it's all because the artists made it viable. You know,
Right.
it couldn't have done that before because you had too many homeless and
Right.
people were sleeping even in our building. There were so now the galleries have made it a viable space. They could come in with a wine bar, and the tequila bar next door.
Right, that's
And we have a
right.
nice deli next in the same building.
New York Delight,
New
yeah.
York Delight.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty.
it's a really exciting place to be now. I have 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and a great-grandson who
Wow.
is 8 years old now. Well, as for me, I've always been a risk taker. And I was very fortunate in my upbringing that my parents just let me do my own thing. They did not hold me back. And I always appreciated that. I got in a lot of trouble because of it, but it was my own making. And of course I gained a lot of experience by doing that. And I still am a risk taker, because every time I put on a show, it's a risk. I don't know what I'm going to do. I work all year towards the next show. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's going to be there. I've once read a definition of courage. It's not being fearless. It's being fearful and overcoming it.
Right.
And that's what I do.
You were coming up in an era that wasn't conducive to being a risk taker. I mean, you know, women's rights and where they stood in society was a different place back when you were coming up, correct?
Yes, and of course I was born in Europe, and that was even worse.
Was it?
Yes.
Wow.
And in fact, I used to go back and visit. I was born in what used to be Yugoslavia, but the part that I was born in was Croatia. It's still Croatia. I used to go back after I'd lived in the United States for a while, and people would tell me I couldn't dress the way I'm dressing.
Really?
I had to wear darker clothes. Couldn't run around in pants.
Run around in pants.
Yeah.
You horrible woman, right? Bad example.
Yes. It went so far that my very dear friend who lived there sat down and made me a skirt one day while I was visiting her.
And what did you say to her?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good answer. Did you wear it?
Yes, I wore it when I was there.
For her sake, right?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Boy, you bring back memories. I hadn't thought about it in quite a while. Well, for one thing, I'm very grateful to be here,
Yeah.
to be in a country where I can speak my mind
Right.
and not be afraid. I love it. I don't know what to say. Well, my husband and I have traveled practically all over the world, and after he passed away, I've traveled some more. So there's very few places I haven't been. But we used to come back and say, it's nice to travel, but we really have everything right here, especially in Southern California. You know,
Good weather.
good weather, we
Running
have the
water.
plants, running water, yeah, functioning plumbing.
You guys have longevity that runs in the family?
My aunt was 99 and 10 months when she passed away.
Wow.
And yeah, she was a ballerina and she never gave up practicing her ballet steps.
Really?
And I think that was her. But the advice I would give to anybody, just keep moving, keep doing things you like to do, and don't let anything hold you back or anybody tell you not to do stuff you like to do or you want to do. And particularly keep moving, don't sit in a chair and watch TV all day.